LSU head coach Ed Orgeron. Ed, that had to be a hell of a lot of fun Saturday night in Austin. What did you think of the play of your quarterback, Joe Burrow?
We love Joe. He's a gamer. He's a baller. He wants the ball in his hands to win the football game, and he did it for us. Outstanding job by Joe and outstanding job by our whole offense and our coaching staff.
And speaking of that coaching staff, you bring in a guy from the Saints in Joe Brady. Offensive coordinator remains the same. So what? How did that help? Can you give us some concrete examples on how that helped Joe going into this year?
Well, the implementation of the spread offense through it, Steve Ensminger and Joe Brady has been a process since Joe got here. But that's the offense that Joe Burrow was raised in. He ran it before he came here, so he's very familiar with it. But I do believe that the expertise that Joe Brady brought from the Saints and the RPOs from Penn State has helped Joe.
Talking to Ed Orgeron here, the head football coach at LSU, with us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line with new Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline, now with 4 levels of defense against gunk, wear, corrosion, and friction. Coach, how has this been for you? We know you're a guy that loves to win up front, loves to control the line of scrimmage, to kind of turn it over to a more air-based passing attack.
Something we always wanted since I got the job at LSU has been a process. We finally got the right coaching staff. We finally got the right players. We finally got the right mindset. So it's something I always envisioned. We always had a great passing game at Miami. We always had a great passing game at USC when we won those national championships, and we plan on having one here.
As far as the other side of the ball, listen, this was a primetime game. It was a great game to watch. But as a former defender, defensive player, I know even though you win, that next day films may not be great because one team gives up 45, the other 38. So while you got the win, what were some of the things talked about on the defensive side?
Well, the head coach was not happy. I can tell you that right now. the mood in the office is not one of celebration this week. I can promise you, partner. But there's some things we got to get better. First of all, we're trying to bull rush, try to keep the guy in the pocket. It didn't work. And we need to be more aggressive in our rushes. We had some breakdown in our coverages. We had some missed plays on the ball. We did not play well on defense in the second half. But I'll tell you, those 2 goal line stands that we had in the first quarter helped us win the game.
Ed Orgeron with us. They certainly did. LSU head coach, as we're talking about the big win they had in Austin over Texas Saturday. Ed, a lot of talk was made about the game time temperature and the stifling conditions in the heat. Alabama's Nick Saban is now complaining about an 11 a.m. 11 a.m. kick time. Sorry, 11 a.m. kickoff time because of heat. How much of the heat was a factor, and how much did it weigh in how you played players in that heat?
We went into the game that we had to rotate early. We knew it was going to be challenging, but the humidity was only 27%. As you know, in Louisiana, it's a little bit higher than that every day.
Yes, it is.
So it was a dry heat. I do believe the thing that affected us the most on defense is that we played 93 plays and we had a 19-play drive. So I think the length of the drives and the more we played, that affected our players.
How about Ed? We're large guys, you and I. How did it affect you, though? I mean, how hot were you?
It was great, man. I run in the heat at noon. The heat is my friend. I'm ready to go.
Talking to Ed Orgeron, the heat is indeed his friend. Outside of Alabama, 6-0 all time, Ed Orgeron against top 10 teams. So no stranger to the heat in that. But Coach, the heat in the locker room before the game, we had heard about the fact that the Texas visitors locker room, no AC. Was that true before the game? You guys were in a locker room without AC, getting ready to go play in that heat?
Well, what we heard is before the game that there was not a lot of air in the room. There's not a lot of ventilation. So we brought our own blowers. We brought our own air conditioning. I'm not so sure if there was air conditioning there or not, but we made it better by bringing our blowers in, brought more air, and it wasn't bad. The locker room wasn't bad, and it did not affect us in the game. I can't say that.
Good thing to be tipped off on, though, just so you can kind of take care of that for the players, no doubt about it. So after a big game like that, how do you go about, you celebrate the win, but then, okay, we got to get back to business and not let them, read the headlines too much?
Yeah, block out the noise. It's ongoing skill development. Look, we're not happy the way we play defense. We're going to have a great defense here. Our defensive coaches are working early in the morning at 5 o'clock this morning on packages, getting better. The mindset is we're going to get better. This is about LSU this week, ongoing skill development.
Well, that skill development is working for Joe Burrow, and we'll see how it continues to develop throughout the season. Heat be damned, the Tigers came away with a win. Ed, we appreciate the time, and best of luck this weekend. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.